complete it. But longer, of course, if you go for every single thing you can get.
But, a 4 to 6 hour game? No way I'm paying that much for a game. I'm not a Nintendo drone, losers.
Yeah, okay, bro. Says the person that just bought Call of Duty with a 2-hour campaign attached to it. Just chill out. Late to that person. I also thought that maybe it was a case of a more dude bro type of gamer being like, dude, bro, let's just play some Call of Duty.
Oh, let's play like a real game like
Let's go! Game and the Chica Game.
Hello once again, my chickadees. Game & Chick is back once again with another review. Before we get started, like we always do, I would like to give a big thank you to ACTIVISION for providing me a review copy to make this review possible. Thank you very much. So now with that out of the way, let's pew pew pew! Call of Duty Vanguard is the latest entry in the long-running first-person shooter franchise, developed by Sledgehammer Games and published by ACTIVISION. With the previous World War II game like Call of Duty World War II feeling more of the same for the franchise, Sledgehammer Games decided to switch it up a bit with a different approach on storytelling and new multiplayer game modes. But were these decisions sound decisions? Or is it a case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Only one way to find out, so let's go! Story. The unified narrative of Vanguard's single-player campaign spans 4 different front lines of World War II, focusing on the Pacific War, the Western and Eastern fronts, and the North Africa campaign. Join a cast of 4 characters and witness their stories and perspective of the war based off of their own personal and heartfelt experiences of triumph and tragedy. Gameplay. If you've paid attention to my content for the last year or so, then you would know that me and Call of Duty have a weird checkered past. It's not a love and hate relationship, but more so an on-again, off-again relationship between me and the franchise. Quite a few times has the series been the butt end of my jokes or quips, and that could give the impression that I hate this series or even dislike it, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I do not dislike the series. In fact, some of the titles are really good, but over the years it's been hit or miss with some of the entries feeling a bit repetitive or repeating the same formula over and over. So with all of my jokes and ribs aimed towards Call of Duty, how can you even be impartial to the series? Aren't you going to have a bias against it? Well, truth be told, it does feel a little bit like joining the dark side if I'm being perfectly honest. A slow descent into madness and being converted into the dark side of gaming. However, I was taught a power by my master that allows me to be completely unbiased and review this title 100% fairly on all of its positives and negatives and give you my personal and honest truth, whether it's positive or negative. So it's time to dive right in and start off by talking about the campaign mode first, and then we'll transition into all the online features. You know, the real bread and butter of the series that everyone knows and loves. Or rather, at least cares for. Story modes in Call of Duty haven't exactly been the cream of the crop. Some have ranged for me personally as really cool and engaging, like Advanced Warfare with Kevin Spacey, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare with Soap and Price, but then some of the others for me have really fallen flat on their face, with titles like Black Ops being really good with CIA-related black operations, but ultimately leaves little to be desired by the time you reach its conclusion. Sledgehammer Games has learned quite a bit from not only their last outing in World War II back in 2017, but also overall from the franchise as a whole. As you push through your 6 to 7 hour long campaign mode, you will be put in the shoes and perspective of 4 main characters, each with their own stories of hardships, reasons for going to war, or self-grandeur. Whether you're playing as Wade Jackson, a hotshot maverick like Tom Cruise in Top Gun, Arthur Kingsley, a dedicated and fearless leader that leads by not only force, but also with compassion, or my favorite character, Polina Petrova, a legendary sharpshooter dubbed Lady Nightingale, you're going to get a very unique experience. This is in large part due to multiple factors. Some that are just nice touches like character bios with an interesting backstory, and other things like location of history that make this feel like a story and campaign that is actually worth paying attention to. Pay attention to a story in Call of Duty? What, are you crazy, woman? Just get to the gameplay and online, we don't care. Whoa, hang on there. calm down. We'll get to all of that really, really soon, I swear. Sheesh. You know those moments when someone bombs on stage and gets fruits and popcorn thrown at them? Well, in my case, it feels like I'm about to get hit with Doritos, Mountain Dew, air horn blasted, and Jeff Cayley tweets. All joking aside, one of the coolest things about this story and its progression is the fact that you play as 4 different characters from 4 different experiences and points of view. By jumping back and forth between time from the past to present times in the war, all storylines meet in the middle and play themselves out. By the end of your 6 to 7 hour journey, you know these characters, their histories, and can feel for them on an emotional level, or if anything, they become more relatable based off of tragedies like Polina having her family killed, or Arthur losing his men in battle. A main culprit and why I found these characters so interesting is because all of the heroes in this game are actually based off of real-life inspirations. Sure, they might not really be named Wade or Polina, but Sledgehammer took inspiration from real-life legends and made them come alive in video game form, albeit with some liberties taken and loosely connecting. For example, this game's Polina Petrova is actually based off of a real-life figure named Ludmila Pavlichenko, known to all as Lady Death, who today still stands as one of the most notorious and deadliest female snipers of all time, racking in a total of 300 plus confirmed kills. Arthur Kingsley is based off of a real-life British soldier Sidney Cornell of the 7th Light Infantry Parachute Battalion during the early days of World War II. Cornell's most well-known mission and heroics involved him parachuting the night and day before D-Day into enemy territory and being stranded there. Serving as a runner of messages to the British outposts, he was stuck in the heat of danger and behind enemy lines for 5 whole weeks. That's insane! And for his bravery in the war efforts, he was ultimately awarded with the Distinguished Conduct Medal. These are only some of the main examples as to why I really got into the story when learning about who these characters are actually based off of. But I know we've got to move on, so let's start chatting a bit about how this story actually intertwines with the gameplay itself. So no more with the air horns, okay? Okay? Okay, stop it! As you push through the 9 different missions during your story mode, each taking you to a different location and giving you the perspective of the European side of the conflict, as well as taking you to North Africa and the Pacific Ocean theater, you will get a variety of different gameplay experiences than just pop into a room here, shoot this, and move on. Sure, that same old gunplay is here with your loadouts, upgrading weapons, attachments, etc., but this time it doesn't throw all fish into one barrel. I'll explain. Previous Call of Duty games fell into the trope of you moving through a narrow corridor, bullet time, move on. But here in Vanguard, I feel that there's more diversity in the gameplay. One minute, yes, you'll be mowing down hordes of enemies in a room like stated, but the very next level, as someone like Polina, you're pushing through enemy lines with your brother and utilizing her skill as a sniper to pick off enemies in the distance, watching for the shine of their scopes, then move on to a mission as Wade that wants you to focus on stealth over gunplay so that you can make it to your friend in time before he is killed. Get into a dogfight in the air as you shoot down enemy warplanes in super intense battles, which I absolutely sucked at with my horrible aim. If they had just played Danger Zone though, forget about it! I would have crushed it.
Almost there! Now, goddammit, now! Pull up, pull up!
Surprisingly, the jungle mission with Wade was actually one of my favorite missions of them all, believe it or not, and this is coming from someone who overall hates stealth-focused missions. I think that it was due to the atmosphere of the thick, dark forest, knowing your enemy is out there in the darkness looking for you, creeping up on them to do a takedown move with R3, and then seeing a dead body hanging from a tree. I know I shouldn't laugh, but come on, that's funny. So hey buddy, what are you doing? Just hanging around? Okay, if I had a bat, I'd swing away just like Meryl in the movie Signs. Only I wouldn't have an incompetent race of aliens after me that flew thousands of light years to Earth, couldn't open pantry doors, and whose one major weakness was water. Invading a planet that has 71% of your species' weakness. Very smart. Almost as smart as Call of Duty Wait, I can't make that joke anymore.
Go!
At this point in the story, after learning everyone's backstories and how they've all come together from different parts of the world, America, Russia, Britain, to achieve one goal, stop Hitler's tyranny, I realized, wow, I really like this story mode. And not only the story mode, but this game in general and how it plays. There's more emotion felt by all the characters involved. You learn about losses of their men, people feeling like failures for things gone wrong, characters watching their countries fall and are powerless to stop it. The more I enjoyed it, the more I felt myself slowly beginning to sink further to the dark side, with my transition almost being complete. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the story mode. It's not perfect at all, and it does have its issues. It has some frame rate dropping, freezing, still an abundance of falling and then being dragged trope, and a little disconnect between wanting to follow World War II and then wanting to be a pure action game. But the emotional set pieces, different locations in the world during the war, events inspired by real life, great voice acting, and combat and controls feeling extremely smooth and responsive, made the campaign really fun to play. Online. Now we've come to the part that people are actually going to spend 90% of their time playing, and if I'm going to be honest, the main modes that players are actually interested in anyways. Booting up your multiplayer will allow you to select from multiple game modes, some new and some familiar. These modes include Team Deathmatch, which is your tried and true team-based combat, where the first team to X amount of kills is the winner. Blitz, that acts as an attack and defense style of battle, where you must capture specific points and hold them for as long as possible from enemy combatants. Patrol, which involves a moving capture point that makes you and your team follow it to rack up points on the scoreboard, all while fending off enemy fire. And then there's Champions Hill Duo and Trios. Champions Hill is basically a more streamlined version of gunfight mode from Modern Warfare. In that mode, you had to eliminate all the targets to get the win overall, but here in Vanguard, that process has been way more optimized and thought out. In Vanguard, you are now placed in a tournament-style bracket with 2 or 3 people, and your objective is to eliminate specific teams and be the last team overall in the tournament at the end alive. Each team has a set amount of deaths that are allowed before your team is completely eliminated, so don't panic if you happen to lose completely in 1 or 2 rounds. That doesn't mean you're out just yet, you can still make a comeback. Luckily, in between rounds, you and your team can restock weapons, ammo, and throwables in the main hub area while you wait for the next bracket tournament to begin. I actually had a lot of fun in this new mode, even eliminating a team myself on one occasion, and I really hope it comes back again in the future. The modes of Patrol, Zone Blitz, and Champions Hill are my absolute favorite overall though. Champions Hill mostly because it reminds me of Murder Ball from TFC. In both Patrol and Zone Blitz, I'm actually pretty good at capturing points or holding them, and usually lead my team in capture time when those modes come up. I actually feel like I'm good, but move my butt over to Team Deathmatch and I get completely bodied to the ends of the earth. Only way to make myself feel better is by not coming in dead last on the scoreboard. If that's achieved, then I take my own personal W for my self-esteem. But what good are these modes without actual enhancements, you say? True, very true. It would not be a Call of Duty game without all of the extra goodies to unlock and achieve. As per usual with each entry into this franchise, custom loadouts are selectable that allow you to be the fighter you wish to be by utilizing rifles, SMGs, shotguns, handguns, bazookas, perks, grenades, etc. Besides your own character level that you can raise and get upgrades for that relate to great stuff like attack dogs for kill streaks, new weapons, perks like radar that allow you to see people on your map, you're also able to raise the level of each individual weapon at your disposal as well. That's right, all of them. By completing challenges, such as getting 120 eliminations, getting a specific amount of crouching kills or melee kills, along with just getting XP naturally for your weapon by just killing or winning matches, will allow you to unlock so many new additions to your weapons, such as attachments that make for faster melee, recoil buster for better firing rate, laser sights for better accuracy, as well as unlock items for your kill streaks and field upgrades like spy planes for 4 consecutive kills, bomb runs for 6 consecutive kills, supply boxes to refill equipment for your teammates, dead silence ability that makes your footsteps silent and makes you undetectable to enemy spy planes, and many more. Like, good lord, there's just so many upgrades that it'll make you do a tailspin. No, I'm not talking about that cartoon. Moving on over to the operator section is where you will pick which avatar or character you will be playing as during your time with online. Here is where you'll be able to select from 12 different characters, each with their own set of challenges to complete for rewards, character bios, customizations like skins for their clothing, quip taunts, finishing moves with R3, and even specific objectives that you need to do to unlock some characters that aren't available to use yet. Characters such as Daniel, who in order to use, you must get 2,000 marksman rifle kills, Solange, requiring you to get 10 double kills, or Arthur, requiring you to get 10 kills with kill streaks. Heck, even with all of this, it doesn't even cover the overall character challenges that aren't related to just a class, or the barracks that host your customizations for player cards, player records, and progression. Phew! There's so much packed in here that it's like trying to pack a suitcase that just won't close. But there's one mode that we haven't talked about yet, isn't there? Yep, good old zombies. I will briefly touch upon this mode before wrapping this bad boy up and giving my final positives and negatives in the wrap-up. In zombie mode, it acts a bit like a roguelite, meaning it's generally the same areas you go to via portals that have you escorting a flying skull to safety or defending the hub area from incoming hordes of zombies that crawl, walk, glow red, and explode, or even have their own miniguns to mow you down with. These areas repeat, but different zombie types spawn. The main goal here in zombie mode is to take down a demonic entity at the helm of all this madness, but also by fighting fire with fire by utilizing your own demonic powers too. Abilities like Ice Attack that summons a blizzard, L1 plus R1 which gives you a temp boost in power, drinking demonic fluids for health or damage boosts, or by purchasing upgrades by sacrificing hearts inside the main hub area. Make no mistake, there is very little downtime in zombie mode. It's fast-paced and hectic regardless of if you're escorting a magic skull or having to survive waves of zombie for 3 minutes straight. It'll keep your heart pumping. If described accurately by me, to me this mode feels like a more refined version of Outbreak mode from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It takes the elements from that which worked and combined it with the traditional zombie modes that we all know. Super fun. Overall, at the end of the day, Call of Duty Vanguard actually genuinely surprised me. I know people have been giving it grief on whether or not it's historically accurate, but I just see it as, if you can entertain me, you know, like a game should, then we have no issues. If I want historically accurate, I'd go watch the History Channel.
Is it possible that Osiris was not some type of biological entity, but perhaps he was some type of a machine or a robot?
Wait, on second thought, yeah, no, maybe not. My point being here that Vanguard does a lot of good things. Playable 4 characters, with each having unique experiences and playstyles, action going from over-the-top set pieces to sneaky and silent stealth sets, immediately to airborne dogfighting or intense boss fights where you only get a knife for protection as you're hunted down slowly, which kind of turns into a horror element. These things are done all while having a very good cast of characters that I actually grew to really like or relate to by the time the journey ended. Taking the positive of the campaign and adding the cherry on top with a series-stable online multiplayer that gives you vastly more options, upgrades, gameplay modes that pushes the series forward with Patrol and Champion Hill, zombie mode upgrading itself beyond Outbreak mode, there is a ton to like here. It's definitely not issue-free, with problems like freezing during campaign, frame rate drops, glitchy enemies, some of the main villains going from menacing and cunning to stupid and comic book-like. However, I feel like there's far too many positives, at least for this entry to me, that outweigh the overall negatives. I guess this means that my journey to the dark side is now complete. So with all this having been said, my verdict is clear. Game & Chick says buy now.
What have we done?
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy this Sith, not join them!
Hey everyone! Thanks for watching! I really hope you enjoyed that review, and I look forward to bringing more to you in the coming future. For new people, feel free to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like or share, and for people already subscribed, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out on any future content upload. Also, feel free to click on my other reviews linked above, because they're kinda cool too. So, give them a look! Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch all you chickadees on the next one. Quick!